But I'll take you to Mozambique to tell you that the dates for holding the municipal elections again in the cities of Maromo, Nakala, Gureu and Milange have been determined by the Council of Ministers Cabinet of Mozambique on December 10. The repeat elections were mandated by the Constitutional Council, the nation's highest authority on constitutional and electoral legislation, because the results of the October 11 elections in these four towns could not be determined due to fraud in all or some of the polling places. Meanwhile, Renamo Party reiterates that it does not recognize the results. They have encouraged all Mozambicans to continue with the demonstrations to restore the electoral truth. And now to further talk to me about this, I'm being joined by the project manager for Peace Room Consortium on electoral observation, Glecio Massango. It's nice to have you around. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So can you please provide an overview of the recent disputed elections in Mozambique? Which cities were mostly affected by the controversy?
Yes, actually in most of the cities in the country, we've witnessed some situations of political demonstrations with people against the electoral results that have been published, mostly in the seats where opposition party, more specifically the Renamo Party, and also another one which is Nova Democracia, it's a new political party, felt they should have won elections, but the official results showed differently. But we can highlight few of the municipalities where demonstration has had more attention from the media and social media as well. Like Maputo, which is the capital, Matola, one of the biggest seats in the country, also Makula, Ilmani, Urui, Nakalaporto. There is a more easy and also sure. I would say maybe these few seats are the ones where the demonstrations have had more media attention. Because the dispute between the first and the second most elected parties is higher, and in terms of the number of irregularities that have been reported during the tabulation time in the voting day, and also during the centralization of the electoral results at the district level, has been marked by some situation which cast some doubts about its transparency and integrity. That's why people have been demonstrating, supporting political parties, more specifically the Renamo Party. Yeah, maybe I would say is good. Yes.
Yes, just you have said, of course, there have been talks or reservations as to how transparent the election was. I'd like to find out from you, were there cases of irregularities? Because we also heard that there were fraudulent activities in some polling units. So I'd like to find out from you if truly there were, and what were the factors that actually aided such.
Yes, actually, we have different electoral phases, which we can say different. We can do different analysis about different phases of the electoral process. For example, the registration process has been marked with a significant number of irregularities. But we also had electoral campaign, which was relatively calm compared to the most recent electoral campaigns in the country. During the electoral day, in general, the situation was relatively calm. However, we found some situations where people were found with a higher number of election votes, trying to introduce them in the election box. They were trying to introduce votes fraudulently, and some of those were known to be belonging to political parties, and some of them were part of electoral management boards at the voting station level. And also some of them were from some observation, electoral observation organizations, like civil society organizations. But from the tabulation period, the number of irregularities has increased significantly. Even the National Electoral Commission has come to public to recognize that the irregularities have increased during the tabulation process, which has cast some doubts. For example, in some seats where the situation was relatively more vague, in the first hours of tabulation period, the first results that have come to public were showing some advantage for the Renamo party, which is opposition party here in Mozambique. But after a few hours, we witnessed some situation in those municipalities where electricity has been cut, internet has been restricted, and also many voting station members have denied to sign the report about the electoral results at the voting station level. And also the situation became very tense. So there were various situations which has cast doubts about the electoral integrity. And that's why even the Constitutional Council has asked to review some of those decisions in terms of recounting the elections, and ended up coming with slightly different results from the ones that have been published by the National Electoral Commission. And also because political parties like the Renamo, and Nova Democracia were against these results in many municipalities, they submitted complaints in the electoral management bodies, and also they made appeals to district level courts. And in some of districts, in some municipalities, the decisions from the district level courts were favoring the opposition parties, meaning, for example, cancelling the elections or ordering the repetition of the elections in some tables, and sometimes in the whole municipality, and sometimes asking or ordering to recount votes. However, for in some situations, and also some electoral management bodies have appealed to the decision from district level courts to the Constitutional Court. And one of the highly debated issues is that the Constitutional Court has decided, saying these district level courts did not have real power to take this kind of decision. It was historical because in the past, many times when opposition party did appeal for electoral results, the district level courts will reject those appeals because of formal issues like the deadlines and some formalities related to. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so before I let you go, because we're actually pressed for time, you've said so many things, and you said that probably the NEC doesn't really have the jurisdiction to administer over certain measures when it comes to rise in irregularities in elections in the country. So I'd like to quickly find out from you. We got to understand that some of the electoral officials on ground also assisted in a way in perpetrating these electoral frauds in some of these areas. So in this case, has anything been done in terms of investigating these matters? Because we've seen protests, we've seen agitations from citizens, and if we continue to have situations like this, there will always be a breach of trust, and of course stability in terms of peace in the country will be jettisoned. So are there investigations ongoing? Are there plans to prosecute those who may have been pointed out or picked out to have perpetrated or have assisted in any of these irregularities?
Yes, one of the most worrying situations is the fact that it's not clear, there's no clear information regarding what are the steps that the judicial system is taking to take those people to account, because we don't have enough information about that. And these cases, some doubts even regarding the future electoral process. Like next year, for example, we have general elections to elect MPs and the president, as well as provincial level elections. In terms of information, we don't have enough information regarding what are the steps that are being taken. And actually, during the district level dispute related to elections, it has been reported on media that some members of district level electoral commission have declared that have been bribed by some members of the government and also from the leading from the government party.
Okay, Glecio,
the constitution, yes.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much. I'm just happy that you're able to confirm that there have been some bribery going on, and that, of course, affected the electoral process in the country. But then definitely we'll revisit this particular story and bring you back on to talk more about it. Thank you so much for joining us anyway.
Thank you for having me.